Hello Internet, Taliesin here, and today we are talking hate. That emotion you feel whenever someone writes anything on the internet, or when someone says anything on the internet, or just when you're anywhere near the internet, because seriously, fuck everyone else in the entire world. They're all idiots and they don't know what they're talking about. The only person with a balanced, reasonable point of view on things is you, and the sooner everyone just realizes that, then the sooner all this shit can get sorted out, am I right? But today we are talking specifically about World of Warcraft Legion, and even more specifically, the Broken Shore. Because patch 7.2, and I don't know if you know this, okay, but patch 7.2 is the biggest patch in the entire history of World of Warcraft ever. I mean, 7.2 is so fucking huge that Sabrina Corgatelli wants to shoot it. It makes Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson look like Warwick Davis, sitting down, far away. Patch 7.2 is so indescribably massive that it has its own gravity, and you can't get too close to 7.2 because time would actually slow down, which is why 5 minutes of Sentinax farming feels like 5 years, you know? And look, don't take my word for it, just ask Ian!
And we probably just shouldn't have said it was the biggest patch.
That's also probably fair.
Okay, well maybe it's not as big as all that after all. But anyway, there's plenty to like about 7.2 and its centerpiece zone, the Broken Shore. Like flying, an awesome new dungeon, flying, and of course the fact that you can now fly. But it's fair to say too that there are things about the Broken Shore that are not so popular. Quite a few things actually, and we're going to be looking at those things in no particular order in this video. And before we get started, I just want to make it very clear that this video is 100% serious in every way, and you should definitely take everything I say incredibly personally indeed. So join us as we look at the 9 things you hate about the Broken Shore, okay? Go, 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 go. Ah, the Mage Tower. How excited we were when we heard about the Mage Tower with its promises of challenge, glory, and rewards. And what rewards? Because come on, who doesn't love new artifact weapon appearances, especially when they look as badass as this? Yes, feral druids, your spec might well be the equivalent of the mad old auntie that Blizzard keeps locked away out of sight in the attic to hide their shame, but I'm pretty sure that this makes up for it, no? Who needs to be viable in PvE when you can be a disco cat? And yes, Retribution Paladins, that is a Stormbroken Ashbringer, you see, because apparently just having the motherfucking Ashbringer itself wasn't enough for you, you greedy, greedy bastards. And Shadow Priests, your appearance looks exactly the same as all your other appearances, to be honest, but we all know you don't give a shit what your girlfriend, your dagger looks like anyway. It's all about those sweet, sweet whispers. Now, of course, not everyone's enthusiasm for the Mage Tower lasted longer than a few attempts at the Artifact Challenge after they realised that when something is hard, that means you might not be able to do it. And 98% of players had to either accept that they weren't quite as good at the game as they thought, or get really angry at Blizzard and their stupid challenge, which is broken and unfair, and yeah, you can guess which one most people chose. But the reason we are talking about the Mage Tower here is not because of the challenge itself, but rather the way it completely destroys our opinions of previously pretty badass lore characters. Like, for example, Jared Shadow's song. Gives it all the big talk in Blackrook Hold, and in fairness, looks like an absolute badass, doesn't he? Turns out, shit at tanking. Like, the actual worst. Doesn't do a ready check before he pulls. His mob position is pathetic. And seriously, Jared, would it be too much to ask that you self-mitigate like once in your entire life, dickhead? And Velen, Prophet Velen. Lovely bloke, obviously, and I feel bad about his son and all, and he's supposed to be one of the most powerful priests in the entire universe, but apparently a power word shields out the fucking question. And yes, I'm saying Velen is a shit healer, okay? And that makes me feel bad, because he's meant to be this great leader and hero, but the truth is that if he wasn't the only healer in that queue, then I'd have kicked his ass like 10 pulls ago. And it just makes things awkward, you know? Like, I don't know if I can really stand to get bossed around by Velen anymore, knowing that literally anyone in my guild would have done a better job of healing me than he managed. I kind of think that, you know, maybe I should be giving Velen the orders? And that's the Mage Tower that's done that. Fuck you, Mage Tower. Luckily, we only had to put up with the misery of the Mage Tower for 3 days at a time before, like all of the Legionfall buildings, it gets totally destroyed by demons. And that's fine as a mechanic, I get it, although I am really going to miss that water walking buff. What annoys me is how shit the Legionfall are at defending their buildings. I mean, look guys, it's not like you've got anything else to do, is it? I'm the one going out into the field, I'm the one collecting Legionfall supplies and killing world bosses and gathering nether shards. You guys have one job, to stand here and guard the camp. That's literally all you have to do, and you are not even trying. Look, I'll help you out. Demons Here! You're not even looking at the fucking demons! At least pretend you give a single tiny fuck that they're destroying your camp around you. You know, I'm not entirely convinced that the Legionfall are quite the elite fighting force they like to make out. But in fairness, what more can you expect from a faction with a crest that looks either like an imp taking a dump or an actual demon arsehole on your tabard? A demon arsehole. A demon arsehole. Oh, and if you think the Legionfall forces are useless in their camp on Deliverance Point, then wait until you see them out in the field. Because honestly, these soldiers are so incapable of looking after their own safety that Bill Cosby wants to date them. It feels like every other day I'm going out to apply lotion to them. Yes, I am one of the greatest heroes Azeroth has ever seen, but apparently the best thing I can find to do with my time is to go out and apply actual lotion to the idiot-ass Legionfall soldiers that have got themselves turned to stone by basilisks. Yeah, great work, soldier. You made it all of what, 200 meters out of the camp and managed to get turned into stone. My hero. I really think we need to review the Legionfall training program, because not only are they incapable of even rudimentary stronghold defense techniques, but apparently not a single one of these fuckers knows how to use an interrupt. You know, I wouldn't mind, but for some reason I'm busting my ass trying to earn exalted reputation with these muppets. I can't help but feel that maybe they should be trying to earn my respect and not the other fucking way round. In theory, I love the Sentinax. Endless waves of demons flowing out of portals that you can summon and empower, all ready to fall under your attacks for big nethershard-shaped rewards. It's a great idea, and it should be really fun. But of course, the reality of Sentinax farming is a little less glamorous. A desperate game of whack-a-mole, as you run around frantically trying to get a tag on literally any enemies you can before that bar turns white and it's completely useless to you. Basically, if you're not in a group that's already established by a couple of portals from the start, then you're essentially Madonna at the Oscars. There's really no point you being there. There are few worse feelings in WoW right now than activating a big shiny portal stone from your bag and then watching helplessly as that green laser zigzags its way as far as humanly possible away from where you're standing to give that group that's getting all the tags stealing even more of your kills. Oh, and then when you finally do get into a decent group, some bin juice summons a Legion commander and it's all over. See you next time, GG. Oh, actually, no, that's not the worst feeling. The worst feeling is when you've somehow managed to scrape together 5,000 nether shards and you really need a certain legendary, let's just say, for example, Predaz, so you decide to spend your 5 grand on a relinquished necklace, because you know there's a tiny chance it could be a legendary, and then you'll have Predaz, and you know it's only a tiny chance, so you won't be upset if it's not Predaz, and then obviously it's not Predaz, it's some useless piece of shit you're never going to use, but you're not upset though, because you knew it was only a tiny chance it was going to be the thing you wanted. Yeah, that's the worst feeling. Kraken eggs. Fuck that shit. And if the thought of farming the Sentinax like an idiot for hours on end doesn't get you excited, you could always take a gamble on the nethershard guy, because that's guaranteed to make you feel like shit, isn't it? Now, please tell me I am not the only one who does this, but when it comes time to pick my box, I put a lot of thought into that choice, because, you know, I've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. I know what happens to the guy that picked the really big, glittering cup and then got turned into Karl Lagerfeld. I don't want to be that guy. Fuck you, big glittering treasure chests that really do look like they might be filled with some quite good stuff, actually. But no, I want to be Harrison Ford picking the modest, small wooden cup and totally winning. So this is my chest. I took about an hour to choose it the first time I played this stupid game, and it's the chest that I open literally every single time. Because one day, I'm going to make it big and land a whole ton of nether shards and other cool shit from this chest. You just see if I don't. All I have to do is just ignore the big, impressive ones that really do look exactly where I might put a whole ton of nether shards, if I'm honest. Have faith in the small wooden one. Fucking hate nether shard guy. First time I saw the fell murlocs, I thought, hey, that's pretty cool, that's a nice idea, I like it. 3 minutes later, and then every day for the rest of my life, I've thought, fuck off, fell murlocs, just let me leave. I've done my quest, I've destroyed your stupid crystals, just let me mount up and fuck off, seriously. Fuck off. Fuck off. Just fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. So, here on the channel, we've had a long and complicated relationship with Khadgar. For us, it all started back in Warlords of Draenor when we first started getting suspicious. Basically, Warlords was a pretty straightforward fight between us and some timeline-confused orcs, until someone had the bright idea of releasing Gul'dan, who got the Legion involved. And remind me, just whose bright idea was that? Khadgar. Everyone laughed when we proclaimed him a dreadlord back then, and put it down to the fact that we didn't like his annoying face or condescending attitude and just wanted basically any excuse to kill him in a boss fight. And to be honest, there may be a grain of truth in that, but it's difficult to deny that Khadgar's behaviour since we've got to the Broken Shore has been getting curiouser and curiouser. First up, there's this aforementioned zero amount of fuckskiffing for every time some demons come and blow up some buildings that he's standing right next to. I'm pretty sure he could handle a couple of fellbats if it came down to it, but just like his Legionfall recruits, he doesn't lift a finger for anything. In fact, and look, I'm no body language expert, okay, but he doesn't seem to be in the slightest bit concerned about the fellbats at all, does he? It's almost like he knows they won't hurt him. And then there's that shit in the Cathedral of Eternal Night where he's all like, oh, sorry guys, I totally failed in my comparatively easy task, and now there's loads of demons everywhere, but don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine, even though I've just made everything much harder for you, lol. And that's before we even get to the Tomb of Sargeras, because as I'm sure you've noticed by now, the Tomb of Sargeras is open. Like, the door to the raid is open. We're ready. We're as geared as we're ever going to be, and there's only one person who's stopping us from charging in there right now, all guns blazing. No, not him. Well, okay, yeah, kind of him, but most importantly, him. Hey, Khadgar, the door to the tomb is open. Should we go in there and kick some ass? Yes, hero, just as soon as you got me a whole ton of nether shards. Come back next week. Khadgar, should we go and stop the invasion now? Absolutely, hero, just as soon as you farmed 100 useless things from the Sentinax. See you next week. You should probably do 20 world quests. You can never do too many world quests. You don't seriously expect we stand a chance in that tomb if we haven't spent a whole week doing world quests first, do you? I'm telling you, sheeple, Khadgar is stalling, desperately drawing out this terrible Legionfall campaign in the hope that we'll all get bored and unsub before he has to be revealed as the big horned demon lord he is. And you may think we're going over the top here, but this is pretty reasonable when you think about it, and I really don't think we're saying anything too controversial here, because all we're saying is every single bad thing that has happened since Warlord of Draenor has happened because of Khadgar, and he is straight up playing us. That green asshole on the Legionfall tabard, that is probably his demon asshole put there to mock us, hiding in plain sight. So look, if you don't believe me, all I'm saying is, if next week he stalls again and insists that flying around and killing some elites or something is a much better idea than heading into the tomb and winning the war, well, there's your proof, and you know that we were right all along. That's all I'm saying. Thanks for joining us today, and an extra special big thank you to all of our amazing patrons. Not only is it your support that keeps these videos happening right now, but they actually helped us write this one too. So thank you so much, guys. You are the bee's knees. If you like this video, you can like it if you like, and if you didn't like it, downvote the shit out of it. And remember, my name is Mad Season Show. No, my name is Taliesin of Taliesin and Evertell. Until next time, cheerio.